Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek.
Woohoo!
We're used to that now, aren't we, Blythe?
Yes, we are.
You better be.
we are talking babies and pop culture in general. We didn't do a listener feedback today because this subject is really hard to nail down exactly what I'm trying to say on it. So I apologize for no listener supported. But next week, whatever topic, I will make sure that we do a listener feedback because I do miss hearing from you guys because you guys are all awesome. Okay. So let's introduce the panel today. On my left, we have Miss Pixie. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
We're doing fine. How you been? It's been a couple of months.
It's been a crazy quarantine. Yes, it has. Doing good, though. Doing good.
Nice. Cool. So you're
Happy
safe
and
and all that
healthy.
other stuff? Okay.
Yep.
Outstanding. And to my bottom left, underneath Miss Pixie, we have Mr. Blythe. Who are you and what do you do?
I was the tech guy for a while, but I've been kind of MIA the last probably month and a half or
Yeah,
so.
so who's that all fall on now?
The guy that's working 60-hour work weeks.
It happens. I'm
Anytime.
happy.
But
Hey,
yeah,
shoot
we got the new little kiddo. I was gonna say running around, but he's not quite running around yet. And just trying to get used to that lifestyle.
So you're busy is what you're saying.
A little bit.
You're kind of happy about the quarantine right now because you get to stay home with the baby a little more, aren't you?
It is nice. I heard some horror stories about how many people you had to deal with, and you only get to hold the baby for 20 minutes a day because everyone's wanting to pass him around and stuff. So I'm like, this is nice, just some family time.
Yeah. Not going to work like that. And directly below below me, we have our friend Miss Geeky Paige. How are you doing today, kiddo?
I'm good. I'm glad it's Saturday for the listeners, just so they know. So I get a break from work because even working from home is rough. It's a lot. Work is work. Work is work. But I'm good.
Nice. So what's new? I heard you're on Zoom meetings all day. And
oh my gosh, I've been Zoom meetings all day today. Yeah, I Zoom for work. I know that sounds weird. And then I've taken a couple classes via Zoom. So
keeps you busy.
Live on my computer.
Well, that's kind of that's kind of what they want, isn't it? Everyone's just on the computer.
Yeah,
you can be tracked. I'm sorry, no conspiracy theories. I'm done. Lock up your coffee.
No, it's not tracked. That's why they put TikTok on your phone so that you play
say
TikTok
trapped,
videos all the time.
I say the Oasis.
There you go.
No, actually, I think you're more in the Matrix.
I'm alright with that too.
You're a pod people. I'm just saying. I got to say this and I put this on the page, but we were watching Ready Player One last night, and my kid says, "You know what? I think Scott Pilgrim versus the World is inside of the Oasis." And that's why you see whenever they kill somebody, all the coins drop. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my kid is brilliant. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, that's smart. I love it. Now I'm never going to unsee that.
Ever. Right? You're not allowed to.
Yep.
Okay, so today's show is brought to you by Huggies. Blythe just had a baby, and we would really like to get the sponsorship money. Someone's out there listening, I'm sure.
I'll email Huggies.
That would be amazing. Okay, so let's start right out. What is the appeal of babies in entertainment in general? Sometimes, if they don't do it right, it's the most boring, horrible thing in the world. Sometimes it's cute. So what is the for lack of a better term, I know that the cute thing can even get a bit much, like Blythe will tell you about Baby Yoda. Yeah. So let's talk about your thoughts on what makes the baby thing so appealing. Because you put a baby in a movie, you've changed your audience, but you've probably added at least 2 or 3 zeros to the gross profit. I think we can agree on that.
I think a big part of it is definitely the cuteness factor. A baby's innocence is just one of those things that you can't really replicate with anything but. So whether it be a regular baby, a baby animal, any sort of baby, just kind of ups that cuteness factor and makes it, everyone can connect to a baby. So you're not singling out any kind of demographic in whatever you're doing. Anyone can relate to that because we've all had interactions with baby at some point or another.
Yeah, well, I notice even people that don't like babies will watch the cuteness of a baby in entertainment.
Yeah,
I mean, is it just a thing? Is it something that we're just evolutionarily just predisposed to want to deal with babies?
it's possible.
What about you, Ellie? What do you think of that?
I honestly, I think there's a line in Boss Baby that was quoted, and it was great. It was like, I'm going to misquote it, I'm sorry. But it was something to the effect of, everybody wants to have one, even if, like, they don't want one right now because they can't take care of it. Everybody wants one. That is why there's such an appeal to babies. And when the dogs were trying to be cuter, it was like, well, everybody wants a cute thing. Everybody wants something that is just so cute that they just don't know what else to do with it. But when the time comes that the baby cries, people are like, oh, no. And that's why movies are
There's yours.
a good release, because you don't get the crying part, really. You get the, oh, look at how cute the baby is. Look at how cute the baby is. And then all of a sudden it's like, cutscene. Okay, the baby's crying. Take him out.
So, Courtney, what do you think the appeal is?
It's like Pixie said, they're cute. I mean, well, unless it's like a demon baby in a show, then that's a little iffy.
Well,
like the baby in American Horror Story.
They start as adorable right before they turn into.
I don't know, the baby in American Horror Story Hotel, that baby started out as a demon. But there's a saying in Hollywood: if you want to save your show, like if your ratings are going down, if you want to save a show, add a baby or add a dog.
Yeah, Cousin Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems to it doesn't always work.
Why is it always both? It's only a puppy or a dog.
Yeah, it's like add an animal or add a baby.
Yeah.
But usually it's added dog. But it doesn't hardly ever work, but that's a phrase they use all the time because it just appeals to everybody's aww factor when you put a cute little baby and stuff. So
yeah. Fair enough. So we can all agree that anytime you put baby in TV show, movie, whatever, there is a cheese factor. We all know that
for the most part.
There's no hiding it. I mean, with the rare exception of like Everybody Loves Raymond, where they purposely did not deal with the kids much at all, but they were definitely there in the background. But if you're dealing with babies, you got that cheese factor. Watch Full House for a while. You hear that a lot. So where is that line between the okay cheese that we all seem to either A, overlook, or B, just kind of like in our hearts, and that line that it gets like, oh, this is so bad.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's the line.
Oh, take it back.
Baby Yoda's the line.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda's adorable. That will never change.
No.
He's the cutest thing ever, and everybody wants one.
Episode 1 should have took him out. Show would have been just.
You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to give you your speaking on this one. Tell me why is he over the line? You always say that he is. Tell me exactly why. Debate this with me. I'm not gonna debate it because we don't debate crap. But why do you hate Yoda? Why is it too cheesy? Why? Where is that line?
Because
is it the eyes? Is it the ears?
Because he's there just for the sake of merchandise. He serves no real purpose throughout the show.
That's not true. He saves him.
You could have created a MacGuffin out of him to give him some sort of purpose. But again,
I would argue that he is the Mandalorian's purpose.
I would agree with you. I
wouldn't agree.
You can hate him, but he does give the Mandalorian purpose because without the child leading his quest and being a big part of his quest, there's no Mandalorian other than him going around the galaxy hunting bounties.
Why can't we just have that? What's wrong with just a show
which would
of
be
guys
cool.
grounded bounties?
And the rumor I hear that Baby Yoda is going to go slightly dark side next season.
Oh, jeez,
No,
there you go.
don't.
See,
I'm not making it up. I'm just saying what I read.
It's all good. No, I feel like Baby Yoda makes the Mandalorian more interesting, while the balance with the Mandalorian kind of counteracts some of the over cuteness of Yoda. I think that together they make a very interesting character. I don't think apart either of them are watchable for an hour a day.
They need each other.
I think they need each other.
I disagree with that only because for as long as Star Wars has been around, people have been flocking and wanting some sort of either Boba Fett movie or Boba Fett series or something like that before Baby Yoda was ever even an idea in anyone's head. So if everyone was wanting this show about a Mandalorian, that really all they wanted him to do was go around and be a bad A and hunt bounties and do that stuff, like that's your show. That you wanted that for years, and now you're saying that he's not.
Let me disagree with
without Baby Yoda.
I got to disagree with you though. I think that nobody wanted the Mandalorian. People wanted Boba Fett. They didn't care about the other
It's the
backstory.
same thing.
Nobody cared about
swapped it out. You could have swapped out the Mandalorian for Boba Fett and made the exact same show without the child, and that you would have had the same thing.
The thing is that I think he's the perfect balance to him because of the fact that here's a baby that he's supposed to kill. That is the first bounty of his, this whole season. This is the story to his whole arc right now. And it changes his persona. It changes his mind. It changes his way of life in a sense that he doesn't do anything against the Mandalorian code. He just adapts to the code with this child that he just can't kill. And most of them kill without reason. This time he had a reason not to kill something.
Mm-hmm.
Who would kill a child when the fact that nobody in this world is going to kill a child? So yes, they may have added it in because, hey, it's great merchandising because everybody now wants a Baby Yoda in their life. But they gave it a reason too. It wasn't they just, hey, buy this stuff. This is why we have it. They waited till the show aired to see how well the show did. And when it came out, oof. Everybody in my life was like, have you seen it yet? And I was like, I'm waiting for at least 3 episodes to come out. And everybody was so mad at me.
I was one of those people, I think. Yeah.
Yes. They wanted me to watch it first so that I can feel what they feel. And I wanted to wait because I wanted to see it all kind of more at once than see it in 1 week at a time. And it just brought so much joy and happiness. Even my parents, they both watched it and they loved it. And they're totally like, no, we don't really like Star Wars stuff as much. And I'm more the Star Wars nerd. So it says a lot when they love the show for so many factors, including Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I think he is the marketability outside of the Star Wars fan. So now let me cut off the Yoda thing. We'll discuss him later, I'm sure. But let's take your curmudgeonness out. So now tell us, where is that line? If we're going to take Baby Yoda out, where is the line that goes from too cutesy to whatever that's over cheesy and you can't handle it to just that right amount of aw? And I have an answer, but I want to get some of your guys' first. Courtney, what's yours? What do you think is that line? Either side, either the just perfect amount or just over the board, over the line.
I don't know. That's a really hard thing to without actually seeing an example of it, I probably wouldn't be able to pin it down as to what's too much for me. I'm not overly sappy. I mean, you know that. So, I mean, it doesn't take much for me to go, this is just too sweet. Make it stop.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I know any specific examples of what I think would be too much.
Let me throw this example out, so that you guys can see where I'm going for on that. And this is very specific for me. Once you have a older child that's trying to be cuter, that to me is that line. And I'll give you the perfect example is Cindy Brady from the Brady Bunch. The kitty carry-out, and it was like, she's about 2 years too old for that, and you could feel it, and you could just see it in her. It's like, oh, she hates this, and that just made it from, that aw to there's something just not right about this. Shirley Temple's another example because she was so talented and so amazing, and they made her so cutesy, and there was just something that was just like, ew, if that makes sense. as much as I can respect what Shirley Temple did, there was just something that just never felt right about it. And I think that's where my line is probably that age gap when it's going from things that kids do naturally cute to they're forcing it to be cute. Another example I give you is, and I think this is right on the correct side of it, the first season of Full House, Stephanie was the Michelle the first season. And, you didn't you, what was her line? How rude, or whatever her little catchphrase was.
Mm-hmm. How rude.
Yeah, she pulled that off for 1 year because that felt like this is what someone her age would say, and this is how that age could act. And then the next year is like, ew, they need to move Michelle up quick because she couldn't be that cutesy anymore. So it was, to me, and I put a lot of thought into it, that cheese factor really is age. When it feels natural versus not.
It's like when it passes that line of being a generic cuteness versus like an on-cue cuteness. Like, you think Shirley Temple's like that first generation of like Toddlers and Tiaras and the Dance Mom thing, where they just was like, you could tell that her parents were in the background, like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta look this way, like it needs to be like this, or else you're not gonna be famous anymore, like that type of thing.
Possibly. I'd say I'm just kind of, I kind of stopped myself from thinking about this too much because I wanted a little self-discovery on the show of kind of like, what do I think about this? And I could see that it could be kind of that mom thing. But I mean, and I'll give you another really good example of The Wizard of Oz. Judy Garland was playing, she was what, 20 at the time? And she was
15.
She was 15?
She was 15.
Ugh. But
Dorothy's supposed to be 12.
About 9. Yeah, about 9 or 12 or whatever.
12, I think, yeah.
And it felt like you're forcing that cute. Even with the Oompa Loompa or the Lollipop Guild, all that stuff. It felt like it was forcing cute without being actually cute. And I think, and going back to the age thing, it just never feels right to me.
Yeah, she was 15. So
I feel like the line is drawn when you actually realize, like, you're old enough to realize that you're not the cutest thing there anymore. So you start doing everything possible to be the cutest thing there.
Well, there's something to that.
And the thing is, like, kind of to your reference there, it's like the older sisters suddenly are like, what? I'm not, but I'm baby, but I'm cute, but I'm adorable, but I'm the one you always do stuff for. And all of a sudden the parents are like, no, we have a new baby. And it's like, what? And you see the child's reaction, like, well, what do you mean that
yeah. Well, every youngest child is the center of the universe. They don't know anything different. And that's not being, I'm the baby too. I'm
the oldest.
We are.
I'm the only.
But so you were the center of the universe for a long time. That explains a lot about you, Blythe. But, and I say there is something about the believability that you're not trying to do anything cute. You just are the center of the universe. So therefore you don't try. And that's what makes you cute, I think. I don't know, anybody else have any thoughts on this, or is this just a weird topic?
No, I agree. Especially, like, my joke in my family is I'm the baby of the family. My sister's the favorite, but I'm the baby. So she didn't get away with everything. But they still are like, oh no, but she's got 2 kids and this job and this. So they always kind of blow her up, if you will. Whereas I'm the baby in the family. So they're like, oh no, we're going to take care of her because she's our baby. We love her. My mom still calls me her baby. So
I will hug her and love her and name her George.
Well, I was like,
oh, that's a good example. I can't believe I didn't put that on my top 5. Sorry. Go
ahead. Too late now.
I was thinking Dory and Finding Nemo. You should be my squishy.
I love
Think
Dory.
of other examples now bothering me.
I relate to Dory.
She's so relatable.
But see, now that is, those always, both the Nemo character and the Dory character, although they weren't babies, I guess Nemo was, but the Dory character always felt very much, very, very childish, very baby-like because of I forgot. But there's something that felt genuinely cute even with the age thing. Is that?
It was handled. It was handled well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like she's fully
the genius.
Yeah, and I mean she's fully functioning and all that kind of stuff. It's just stuff where she'll go like, "Well, that's what my family used to say." Where are they? Like just random. Oh, by the way, I don't remember anything.
And I think when you do that with something, you have that it starts to play into like that childhood like sense of wonder, to where she constantly is discovering things for the first time because she can't remember. So anytime she has a thought, to her, it's a brand new thought. Just like when a baby finds something for the first time, when he first notices his hands.
Isn't that the greatest?
Yeah, it's crazy just to watch like him figure things out and also get frustrated at things. Like our little guy, like sometimes he moves his arms and legs around, and I can tell like because they're brand new, like he starts getting frustrated because he doesn't fully get like what they're there for.
Yeah.
Has he discovered his feet yet?
Not his feet. He's been using his hands a good amount, but not.
Because it's pretty cool when they discover their feet. Because I remember when the oldest niece first discovered her toes, mind blowing.
That's how you should feel about your geek stuff. And I'm not, I'm not just kind of twisting this back, but when we discover something new, if I don't feel like that, it hasn't really grabbed me. That's most recently, I could say Stargirl. I discovered that, and I felt like a kid discovering their toes.
And you're into that.
It's like, this is amazing. And that's how it's like the greatest thing in the world. I think that's why we love the things that we love, because it is that moment of discovering your toes.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like that with food. You know how babies always try everything with their mouth when they reach that age, and they're like, wow. When I try food that I love for the first time, it's just this euphoric, oh my God, this is amazing, and I've never had this flavor in my life before. And,
So let me ask this question. Do you prefer movies that revolve around a baby, or do you like a movie that's more of a baby point of view? I'll give you an example. I guess going around the baby would be like a Mandalorian, and a baby point of view would be like Look Who's Talking. That whole thing is from a baby's point of view. What do you prefer in your entertainment? Which to you is the most entertaining, most... Aww. Let's start with Courtney on this one.
I prefer if you're going to have a baby, you make it a secondary character and make it not that important.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it can be important, like Baby Yoda, where it plays an important role in the plot, but to me, the baby can't be the central character. That's why I've never seen Boss Baby. For me, that just doesn't appeal to me. I don't.
This is all very subjective. This isn't one sucks or one doesn't.
And I mean, I do like Look Who's Talking, because it's on my top 5. We'll talk about that, but that's the rarity of it for me.
Ellie, sorry, Pixie, go ahead.
Actually, go with Flies first.
Okay.
I want to know what he says.
Oh, I hate Baby Yoda.
Exactly what it's going to be. More I hate Baby Yoda nonsense.
I think and this may be more of a generational thing, but I really enjoy like the cartoon, because I grew up with a lot of cartoons where they were from a baby's perspective. So you had like Rugrats and the Muppet Babies.
Love Rugrats.
There's like a whole genre there of like babies that are doing crazy things from their perspective. We even had and it's a pretty cheesy movie, but Baby Geniuses. When I remember
that one.
That was that was a funny movie. I mean, when I was a kid, it was funny. I haven't seen it.
It came out with 3 of them, by the way.
Yeah. So I like from a baby's perspective as opposed to just having the baby in there.
Okay, fair enough. Pixie?
So I think, honestly, it depends on your age, which one you'd prefer. This is my honest opinion.
Okay.
I have nieces and nephews who love Boss Baby. And when I was younger, Baby Geniuses was just fantastic. It was amazing. So when I'm watching movies now, I prefer to have the baby be like secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because like I'll be with my nieces and nephews, I'll hang out with my family, and the first thing they are drawn to are like Rugrats and things like that, where the baby is the center of attention. The baby is the show. And like when I was growing up, I loved Three Men and a Baby, and everything in that movie, even though there are three men there, is about the baby.
Yeah.
And it's funny to like,
but it's not the baby's point of view.
and it's not the baby's point of view. And I love that as I was getting older. And it's funny how often I realize how our tastes changed as we grow.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the younger we are, the more like enamored with all the beauty and the lights and the fantastic stories. And oh my God, this baby wants to do what? This is so cool. And then you get older and you're like, oh, look, it's a baby. Babies don't think that far. You know, like we just get older and we kind of lose that luster when it comes to babies. They're just cute little, oh, it's little mini me's, you know, it's not the same. You don't want to see their perspective as much.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, mine, I want to wait till last because mine is actually kind of a hybrid between the two. And the best that I've ever seen between a baby's point of view and everyone else's point of view would be Mindy and Buttons from Animaniacs. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was the point of view of Buttons the dog.
Yep.
That was trying to go around and save Mindy, who was getting into all sorts of issues and problems.
Right.
So, and it was just so beautifully done because it wasn't baby's point of view, but it wasn't our point of view either. Because it was just a very interesting way of doing it. And it makes you just love both the characters so much without forcing it, if that makes sense. I mean, yes, Mindy had the cute, okay, bye-bye, you know, just the cutest little thing in the world. And then Buttons, this heroic dog who would literally die for this little baby. That, I don't know how you could do that in non-animation, but, it was just so beautifully done to me.
So in this question about a baby's point of view or non-baby's point of view, Dub likes the dog's point of view.
Yes.
Yes. Hey man, whether it's this the box, I'm outside of it.
Outside the box in his own question.
I don't know. Let me clarify one thing. Early on, we said people either choose babies or dogs. It sounds like you just went with the dogs.
I chose the dogs. As a father of three, I choose the dogs.
I was going to say, he's had enough babies in his lifetime.
So, one more question before we get on to our advertisement, our top 5. Animated or live action, what does the better job of portraying a baby? Let's start animated.
Yeah, there's just it's like when you try and do a movie with talking animals,
and it never looks right.
It's not, and it's when you try and do the movies with talking animals, but the only thing you're doing is making an actual dog's like mouth move, like Cats and Dogs.
Oh, that movie!
Like those types of things. It's when you try and do the same thing with a baby, it just doesn't play right.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, to me it comes down to the expressiveness. I don't like CGI animal movies.
Yeah.
And the problem with the live action baby movies is they have that CGI feel to them, where especially if they try to make them talk or something, it's just like, gross.
I miss the good old days when you actually had a baby.
Yeah.
To portray a baby.
They kept replacing that bad boy out every couple months, Every sitcom ever.
Pixie, remind me, because I might be wrong. When did Baby Geniuses, did they animate the mouths moving, or was it all thought?
It was all thought.
It was thought,
as far as I remember,
That's better.
The first one was all thought. Then they did something, and I forgot. They went somewhere on a traveling spree or something. They went to a different country or something, and they were trying to be thought to each other the whole time.
Yeah.
Aww.
Uh-oh.
So Courtney clearly chooses the dogs.
Nice. Okay.
Sorry about that, everybody.
No worries.
He's normally pretty quiet.
Luckily, I can fix that part in post.
Sorry about that.
Like when you do babies like that, when the communication between them is more like telepathic than it is like animated mouths, that works in live action.
Yeah. Well, we're at that point that the animation is so good that any human face the closer it gets to looking human, the worse it looks until it hits that point. I forgot what the psychological term for that is, but like when it looks fake, you're okay with it. The closer it gets, the worse it looks.
Yeah.
Especially when you're animating.
Yeah.
Honestly, because if you have like, I think one of my favorite shows growing up, they had a baby at one point. Even with Full House, I'll pick Full House right now. Full House, they had the baby. The baby gets older. You have the show progressing with the baby growing up.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's completely bizarre to have a live action with a live baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that a lot of us don't want to relate to, for example, sitcoms that change babies every couple months because, oh man, that baby's too big. We need a small baby now. And it's like, no, let the baby grow. Show it like it would be.
Yeah.
And make it more relatable. And if it's relatable in live action, I think people would like it in live action more, but they keep animating and they keep blocking things and trying to make it cuter with animation, which doesn't really work because the baby already has natural cuteness.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons Look Who's Talking still kind of holds up is really funny is because they didn't animate a mouth on the baby. We're in the baby's inner thoughts.
Yeah.
And so, and they would time certain bits of dialogue by natural motions that the baby would make.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that's why, and I mean, it's not my top 5, so we'll gloss over it when we get there. But I think that's one of the more successful live action baby movies, especially since it's from the perspective of the baby.
Yeah, to say it's just and I like it because it's so different and it works. But we'll get to that on our list. So now, by the time you guys watch this, it was my birthday yesterday and Father's Day yesterday. So for a late birthday present, what I would like you to do is go to our Amazon link and go to our Redbubble and buy stuff. And Blythe is going to talk more about that because Blythe is awesome at pimping this stuff. Talk to us about Redbubble and Amazon, bud.
So Amazon link in the description below, guys. You click that link, and I believe it caches your cookie for about 24 hours. And in that 24-hour period, you can buy whatever you want on Amazon, your normal Amazon products. I know a lot of us are using Amazon right now because who wants to go to the store?
Everyone's forgot about our link.
So yeah, just click on the link, purchase whatever, and then we get a small kickback. Doesn't cost you guys anything extra. It just is something that goes on the back end. So if you would remember to click that link, we would really appreciate it. And Redbubble. Redbubble, we have 3 designs available right now. We have the website design. We have like the sticker that Dub is showing you right now. We have just the logo design, like on my sweatshirt here, and then we also have a keep on geeking on with Hal in there as well. And you can get those on any assortment of items, whether it be stickers, cups, sweaters, leggings, dresses, shower curtains.
I knew that had to get brought up.
We have to always talk about the shower curtain.
So I've gotten a pair of socks, which are really nice. But yeah, check us out at redbubble.com, and you can just search iHeartGeek.
And the link is in any description that you've watched this show on our Podomatic or iTunes or YouTube, everything. We always have everything in the show notes. Our show notes might seem a little generic because we have a lot of information, so you can always get to them.
Yep, and 100% of everything that comes back from all of those resources goes right back into the show. So
lots of work.
One day we will get Dub a better camera.
Yes.
Well, you know what? You can complain about my camera all day, but mine actually covers the whole screen. I'm just saying. You can all see that if you're watching this on YouTube. Okay, so let's move on.
Just suddenly got very chilly in here.
Now it's time for the main event.
Okay, and we are on to the main event. And in our main event today, we asked, what is our top 5 baby stories or baby characters in pop culture? This would have been the listener feedback question, but as I say, it's very hard to You guys have heard the show, so you can hear what we were talking about, but it's very hard to define what we were talking about unless you kind of listen to where we were going on this. So that's why we didn't have listener feedback. I feel so guilty about it. I'm explaining away like you care, but you probably don't. I like hearing from you guys probably more than you like hearing from us. Okay, so my number 5 is going to be the show that we have that is the epitome of cheese, which is Full House, not Fuller House, because that's crap. Full House, because those kids were terrible in the new one. In the originals, and yes, part of it's because of my age. I was, I think
Because you're an old man.
Yes, I think I'm about the same age as Candace Cameron, and blah blah. So I was kind of growing up with them on the show. And yes, there's a horrible cheese factor, but there's something about the way that they covered Stephanie and then later on Michelle for babies that was just really perfect. That made those two girls $1 billion in the after, just because of how well they portrayed baby being cute without, and it never felt like they were being gross to the baby, if that makes, not gross, but it didn't feel like it was ever a pushed thing. The babies was just there and just being naturally cute. They'd smile when they'd smile, and that was about it. And then you got it, dude. But it never felt like it was. They never aged out by the time the show ended.
I feel like having 2 of them helped.
I think that helped a lot. By the end, I think they only used one of them most of the time, but it's all good. So, what is your number 5? Let's go with Pixie.
My number 5 is actually the baby from Labyrinth, the one that her older sister
Good call.
The entire movie trying to get saved.
Toby.
Aww.
And wasn't that baby in the new one too? Or a set designer or something?
His dad was one of Brian. His dad is Brian Froud, who did a lot of the artwork, concept artwork.
No, but the baby itself was in something, right?
Yeah, he was in the new Labyrinth.
More new project. Well, I don't think.
Well,
or he's going to be in the new Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was.
Because I remember you told us about this there Miss Kiki page.
Yeah, I think I read it somewhere. I do that. That's one of my other jobs.
Do you okay, let me ask you this question, Pixie, on this one. Do you think that being held by David Bowie was a hindrance, or is that why you like the baby?
The thing is,
I don't think without that scene of the Goblin King holding the baby, I don't think you care about the baby.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm sitting here and I was like, I understand her pain. Like, when I was growing up, I had nieces and nephews that were always, I'd go visit grandma, and the first thing out of her mouth was babies. It was like, I come to visit you, grandma, and I don't get any love and attention. So when she kind of dramatically throws herself and just says, I wish I didn't have this baby anymore type thing, it was like, oh my God, I feel that on the personal level. And then she just goes through this whole journey to get the baby back. And if you think about it, it's one of those movies where everything surrounds the baby, but the baby is not the focal point, it's not the center of attention. Yeah. And it's funny because when I was watching it, I actually watched it for the first time recently. But David Bowie was just amazing, and he would just sing and he would do all these things, and he'd hold the baby, he'd get space. And I'm just like, I want that baby now, just because David Bowie has the baby.
The fact that Bowie had the baby, it moved the baby from prop to real thing.
Yeah. It made it feel more real, and the baby's crawling around and everything. Oh, it was
nice.
I love it.
You think when they make the new movie, they make the actor wear a red and white striped shirt?
He's not listed in the cast list.
I'm going to have trouble with that movie because
I don't think he's in it.
That is a horrible shoes to fill. It better be somebody so freaking amazing.
No, you animate him in. It's fine.
Okay, I'm in.
We're at that
I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know what the plot of the new one is going to be.
Same thing. Exact same plot,
Reboot.
Except
Really?
the baby now has a baby.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. Isn't it supposed to be like a sequel or something?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I stopped paying attention, honestly. I'll watch it when it comes out.
Sequel, it'd be better if it was the older sister's baby.
Well, somebody suggested that since we don't have Bo anymore, they suggested that Jennifer Connelly play the Goblin King now. But we'll see what happens with that.
Maybe.
You see by
As you're-
everyone's face, there's not excitement.
I know.
there.
As your local news gatherer, I'll keep everybody posted on that.
I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I have to get back to you on that.
Maybe the kid is the Goblin King.
See, that would make
Maybe
sense.
that's what
That would
they're
make more
bringing him
sense
back.
because it got passed down to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So, Miss Geeky Page, what's your number 5?
Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark doo doo. Now that's all stuck in everybody's head.
Not mine.
You're welcome.
So let me ask you guys this, because I had a debate before everything went down, like at work, about this. That song is old.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that just popped up in the last year and people started listening to it. Like, I remember singing that song when I was a kid.
I don't.
Yeah, right? Okay, I'm not crazy.
You guys are young. Okay, see, that's a generational difference right here, because you guys are kind of the younger. You guys are younger.
It was released in 2016, so what you're thinking of is something
No,
entirely
I
different.
think
it wasn't.
You mandalated.
I 100%. I don't care what you're
That's
reading.
mandalated. You
I
mandalated.
sang
legit.
that song
What?
in rec center when I was a kid.
Yes.
I remember doing the hand things because you did like this and then this, and it was a whole
Yep.
thing.
I think you guys
Maybe that
mandalated.
video that everyone's been listening to was released in 2016, but the song itself definitely goes back to when me and Pixie were kids.
Yeah, because when I was in, it wasn't a rec center for me. It was going to the church and doing the church activities. That was one of the ones we did.
Yep.
So it's like every time I think about it, it's the same thing. My sister did that to me when she was younger. She's like, "It's this new song called the Macarena," and my mom looked at her like, "That's not new, honey. It was just a re-release of it."
Fair enough. I say I have 3 kids, and that didn't enter our house until 2016, 2017, somewhere in there.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Lies, I got you.
I think we're having a mandala moment.
Maybe.
That's true.
Blythe, what's your number 5, sir?
My number 5 is one of my examples of babies being shoehorned into something for merchandising purposes, and that's Godzilla 98. That movie,
Baby Godzilla!
that movie should have ended about an hour before it actually did, because there needed to be this whole subplot about how Godzilla could have babies and then laid freaking a million of them, and then we had all this.
It was gross. And then you had to go kill the babies.
But
Oh,
when you were a kid, when you were 8 years old, my age, you wanted that egg that hatched and then had the baby Godzilla.
Baby Godzilla!
That's true.
It's not actually the first Baby Godzilla either.
No, I've seen some.
Oh yeah, there's some bad ones.
Yeah, there's some bad ones.
no. I'll take Baby Gizmo over Baby Godzilla. Okay, so we're up to number 4, and mine's going to be another example of my seeing the baby through the eyes of an animal, which was Ice Age. I think the way they did that, the baby was a prop. It got just enough screen time to give you those moments without overriding the film, and it still told a very cohesive story. And it gave you the reason to have the film, but it wasn't the focal point, if that makes sense.
No, and it made all the characters develop more.
It made the characters better. That's what a baby should do, is make the other characters better. But what do they say? 2 things you never want to work with in Hollywood is dogs and babies. Because
Babies and animals.
Was that
stage every time?
Was that the original Ice Age?
Yes.
Was that the plot of the... Man, there have been so many of those Ice Ages that I don't even remember.
That's the only one I liked.
The first Ice Age was not the baby. The first Ice Age was them trying to get out of something, I think. And then the second one was that. No, because
the second one was when it was starting to flood, so they all had to leave.
Oh, that's right. The second one was with Ellie the elephant.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It was the first.
Crazy.
There's so many
Ice
of them.
Ages.
Then there's the third one where Diego falls in love. I don't even remember how that happened. I just specify it by one character.
Nice. Okay, what is your number 4, Pixie?
Don't hate me, Kiki Page. It's Boss Baby.
Oh no, I know. I've never seen it.
So tell us the appeal.
No opinion.
So for me, I was actually watching it with my nephew. My nephew was like, "Oh my god, you have to see it!" And he actually got me started on the TV show, which was actually really, really funny. Every episode is just more chaos and just more like it's almost Rugrats remnants of, because like they just totally get into stuff, and all the neighborhood babies get in on it. But when you watch the movie itself, there's so many like really great lines, and there's so many really funny scenes, and you see the two brothers develop. Even though the boss baby is like an executive in the boss baby in the baby world or whatever, it's like he still develops a character and a bond with the older brother. And, you're watching it and it's just like, oh, the whole time they hate each other at the beginning and then they slowly start working together and working together and working together. And it's like, oh, that and he does the perfect baby face. He just big goo goo eyes.
Fair enough. Courtney, what is your number 4?
The Goodnight Moon series, and mainly because I have to
dirty
read
one?
No. Go to F asleep. No, not that one. It is only because my nieces love it. And so, like, we have Goodnight Moon, and there's Goodnight Nevada, and Goodnight Hawaii. So there's ones that, the iterations that are all over the place, and the nieces just love it. So that's why I like it.
Fair enough. Blythe, you're number 4, sir.
My number 4, and I changed this one kind of last minute. Baby Legs from Rick and Morty.
Oh, oh.
I love that. Those interdimensional cable episodes
Which was,
are so good.
by the way, that was taken from Saturday Night Live.
Really?
Yep, they had that. That was a skit on Saturday because it was a baby leg cop, and he would. Why can't I ever get?
No, wait. That's in Living Color. Remember, it was the Head Detective.
Was it in Living Color as well?
Well, they did this thing called the Head Detective, and it was just Damon Wayne's head.
No, that was different from the baby leg.
And they put a fedora on it, and he had little shoes. And that was it.
Oh, she just hit that cute awe moment. Did you see that?
Aww. It's hilarious. It's so stupid. It's so funny at the time.
That's a great call. That's something completely outside.
Sorry.
Flies went out of the box now.
But I love that scene where they're like chasing the bad guy. Yeah, and then he tries to run. He's all pigeon toes. He's like, I can't do it.
Those are the best shows of the season every year. Is interdimensional cable. Okay, my number 3 is focused on one episode of Futurama when they find the Fountain of Youth, and they all end up turning into babies, and you have the professor who is like 6 and watching all the babies, and it's an overload of cute. It's intentionally overload of saccharine, and it's amazing. I highly recommend. If you haven't seen that episode, I don't remember the name of it. I think it was the second to last season. Maybe I'll put that in the show notes. I probably won't, but I should.
Futurama baby episode.
Definitely worth checking out if you're into Futurama at all. So, okay, Pixie, you're number 3.
My number 3 fits number 3. 3 Men and a Baby. I just love that movie.
Think of that one.
I love that. When I was growing up, I just loved the chaos of these 3 men trying to figure out what to do with the baby. There's 3 bachelors, no idea what the heck's going on, and they try so hard. And like the shower scenes and all these things are great. They have so much fun with this baby. And I know they did a sequel, but I never cared to watch it. I would always just rewatch 3 Men and a Baby because to me that was just the best movie. And I want that apartment. I want that.
I just want the foyer that you go into and it's all painted up, all cartoon.
Well, I also
just
the fact that like they had a huge shower and everything. I just want the whole place. I'll take it all.
Fair enough. Okay, Courtney, what's yours?
I'm doing a Blythe, and I changed this right on the
How dare
fly. I know I'm a terrible person. Maggie Simpson.
Oh, I wanted to mention her earlier. I'm glad somebody brought that up.
I was thinking about it when he mentioned Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but it's a perfect kid episode, or perfect kid character.
Yeah.
She does her job and nothing else, and they didn't have to overcute it. She hasn't changed an iota because she's perfect.
Well, and what I like is like she's just the tiniest bit sassy. Like they'll be running around doing stupid stuff, and then they'll pan away to Maggie, and she's just rolling her eyes, or giving him some dirty look, or dancing to "Sex Bomb" by Tom Jones. I mean, it's just she's the cute, and as as the listening community knows, I've been mainlining The Simpsons
Yes.
since I've been on quarantine, and I actually just finished the last episode that they have up. That's right, I went through 30 seasons of The Simpsons.
Wow.
I know.
Crap.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, I fall asleep to it, so
You've missed a few.
yeah, because like
You have like 6 hours in there of episodes that you didn't watch.
yeah, there's like chunks of episodes that I haven't seen because I fall asleep on the couch.
Actually, I don't think there's a consecutive like storyline that you
Right?
missed
No,
a
I don't
lot
think I
of,
haven't really missed anything. But what the cool thing is Disney Plus has started doing these shorts where they're just adventures of Maggie.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're actually they're only like
Couple
5
minutes,
minutes
yeah.
long. They're only like they're like silly symphony shorts. They're really cute.
Yeah.
And Maggie's little sassiness comes out. So
Fair enough. Blythe.
My number 3.
3.
Right? Yeah. So, and I think I need your guys' help on this one a little bit. How do you feel about like the baby spinoff? So we had like Muppet Babies, and then I think Scooby Doo did it, where they had a whole run where they're just babies. Flintstone Kids did it.
Love those, by the way.
Trying to think of who else did it.
Archie
There always
Veronica.
seems to be like a baby spinoff, and I think it can be handled like Muppet Babies handled really well. And then some are just not as good.
But here's the problem with it: you don't remember any of the ones that weren't good, which is
that's
it's good for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
that's my number 3.
That's a great call on that.
Those kind of spin-off ones are interesting to see.
Okay, now because of a time issue, because then I want to get your 2 out. Pixie, why don't you give us your number 2 and your number 1, and then you can go on and do your, because you got to go to work, I know, and we have a hard out at a certain time. So so give us your number 2. We'll discuss it number 1, and then you can go about your day and we'll finish up.
That's a lot of awesome, so I hope you're prepared for it.
Okay, so start with your number 2.
Number 2 is Baby Groot, because there's nothing cuter than a dancing tree.
I tell you what, that first scene in Guardians of the Galaxy number 2,
best opening of any movie ever. Movie ever, best opening.
I also fully love the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, when every time he starts to dance to the music, then he stops because Drax is looking, and then he starts dancing again, then Drax looks, and he's dancing again.
That's where Drax learned that he could become invisible if he didn't move. He learned it from Baby Groot.
Wow. Whoa.
That's like a way around.
Or the scene where Rocket keeps sending him in to go get...
No.
Oh, the stuff, and he keeps
coming back
he
with
brings
different
in the
things.
ear.
The mohawk, yeah.
Brings in a creature. No.
A toe.
The underwear.
Yep.
Very good call on that one. So what is your number 1?
My number 1 is Baby Yoda. Sorry, guys.
Nobody's going to disagree except for Blythe.
Right. But Baby Yoda is so cute, and I want one. And actually, my mom wanted to make a bride and groom for my best friends, so since they just got married. So it's going to be one of those cute little things where everybody wants a Baby Yoda in their life because of the ears. I really think that's the selling point.
The ears and the eyes.
It's the eyes.
Yeah, the cute little face.
Well, because it looks like 100-year-old baby, and it's amazing.
Yeah, the weirdest thing ever.
It is.
It's a green Benjamin button.
50-year-old baby. That's another problem with Baby Yoda. Timeline nonsense.
Stop.
But he's not. We're not going to get into it.
Stop.
We don't have time. We don't have time for this.
Okay, so before we finish off our list, is there anything you want to let us know before you go there, Pixie? Where people can find you, anything like that?
I mean, I'm at my house most of the time.
Fair enough.
Quarantine doesn't help, you know.
You can be found on your couch.
I can be found in front of my TV screen. No, recently I've just been playing Switch and watching movies with the boyfriend, so nothing too crazy there. But if you want to find me, contact Dub.
And I will see if you're worthy or not.
He's my filter. No, I'm just here and I'm alive and I'm living, I swear. And quarantine will not get the better of me. I will kick it first.
Awesome.
And then everybody stay safe and stay healthy, especially you three. I'm watching you three.
And we will be seeing a lot more of you soon because we're going to get you on a lot more episodes coming up.
Love a Pixie.
Okay, so have a good day. Bye.
Bye, Pixie.
Bye, Pixie.
Can I say it before we leave?
You want to say it? Go ahead, say it.
Do it.
Fun geeking on.
That's amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye, Pixie. Bye.
There we go. Oh, wow. The screen just changed. That was bizarre.
I know. Everybody shifted.
Yes. Okay, so now, don't matter. Y'all figure it out. So thank you, Pixie. I appreciate you coming in because I know it's hard with the work schedule and getting everyone to make this work. So we definitely appreciate it, and we'll see a lot more. So so let's finish our lists. So let's go with our number 2, and mine is going to be an episode called Kid Stuff from Justice League, with the animated series. Morgan Le Fay puts a spell on the earth, and so everyone in the world is 12 and under.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you do. Because she was doing something nice for her constantly young son, Mordred, and turns all the Justice League into children. And watching Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Flash, I think that was it. They just had this just amazing being a kid with all of their powers and going with those, prepubescent feelings that Batman had a crush on Wonder Woman and blah, blah. And it was just so well done. But hats off to that. If you guys have seen that episode, highly recommend it. It's one of the better episodes. And it's got a very just ouch ending. You feel bad for the bad guy at the end of that episode. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Okay, so let's go with Courtney. What is your number 2?
Muppet Babies.
You'll make your dreams come true. Muppet Babies. Yeah.
I'm talking old school
Only
Muppet
the
Babies.
original ones, not the new one. The new ones.
Yeah. I've been having to do a lot of watching of the new ones with the nieces.
I'm sorry.
They love it. I can't get into it.
No.
I miss my Barbara Billingsley as
Miss Nanny.
Miss Nanny or whatever her name is.
Jenny Slate plays Miss Nanny.
Okay.
Now, and she does a good job. I mean, it's really cute, and like I said, the nieces love it. I think it's just I'm attached to the old version.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, and I mean the voices are a little off because it's not the original people who did it. Yeah. And they have a new character. She's a penguin. Yeah. I think her name is Sunshine.
But there's no Scooter, right? Or there's Skeeter and Scooter.
There's no Skeeter. Skeeter's the girl, right?
Yes.
There's no Skeeter.
That sucks.
I don't think there's a Scooter either, though.
I'm out.
That's weird.
But there's Kermit and Piggy and Fozzie, and Gonzo and
they picked out the most recognizable ones.
Yeah, and I mean the chickens are there. Camilla's there, and she's got like 2 little baby chicks with her. Yeah. And then, like I said, there's
so baby chicken
Rolf's
having baby chicken.
I guess she's not a baby anymore. And then Rolf is there. So there's Rolf the dog.
Original, yeah.
I'm
a dog. What do you want?
Yeah, but I don't think there's a Scooter and Skeeter. And like I said, there might be a Scooter. I know there's no Skeeter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this penguin who I can't. The girls tell me her name every time they make me watch it, and then I never remember what the damn penguin's name is.
And you won't, so it's all good.
Nope. I just let them tell me again what her name is.
So to be clear, you like the original, not the new one. And
because I'm not 5.
The original one is the one that made your list.
Yeah, because I'm not 5, so I prefer the original one when I was 5.
And then in 15 years, when your nieces have their own podcasts and they talk about Muppet Babies, they'll like the new one.
They're like, oh,
they're gonna hate the new one.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh my god, and my aunt likes the terrible, terrible old one.
The new one will be in VR by then.
Yeah, it'll be like
It'll be in the
Muppet Babies in your face.
That was the best thing I've ever heard. We got to move on. Blythe.
You're welcome.
My number 2, and Dub didn't remember this one, but Courtney, you might. Do you remember the Y2K baby? It was like
No.
one of the first internet videos that started going around.
May I re-edit? It's the Ally McBeal baby.
Yes, then I do know that baby.
Yeah. So that baby is the thing that nightmares are made of.
That thing used to crack me up.
I know, and that was the thing, is like, it's crazy that it really was one of the original memes, because I remember my parents watching it and my grandfather watching it, and they just ate it up. Like, everyone thought it was the funniest thing, and it's literally like a poorly rendered CGI dancing baby.
I think it was more the song it was dancing to, because it's always dancing to "Hooked on a Feeling."
Yes.
So I think that kind of added to it.
Going back to Baby Yoda, it looked like an old baby towards when they were trying to add the shadowing and all that. It's like
Doug is really, really grossed out right now.
Luckily, they can see this on YouTube. If
I
you're watching
know.
on YouTube. This is probably one of those episodes you want to watch on both YouTube and listen to audio, because it's pretty good.
Yeah, we make a lot of faces.
We do. Way more than I would think that we should have for a
We
podcast.
really do.
Outstanding. Okay, so we're on our number ones. And mine was a show that I just really enjoyed and I got into way after it was ended, and that's called Raising Hope. It's another great example of, you were so interested in the family, and the baby was there, and it was central. You couldn't have the show without the baby because it was so important to the plot. But it wasn't like baby wasn't in your face all the time. I think there's a lot of episodes without the baby even in it. But it's the effect of the baby to the family, and I thought that was a very well done way of doing it. When the baby does show up, yes, there's the cute factor, but it doesn't. The rest of the family has so much going on, you don't need it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys watch that show or not, but it's brilliant. I recommend it. I think it's on Hulu. So definitely check it out. It's pretty fantastic.
Nice call.
Courtney, what is your number one?
Baby Herman.
That was on my list. I took it off because of you.
I know, and I love you for it. And I love you for it. Baby Herman, for those of you who don't know, is the name of the baby in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I love a cigar smoking, potty mouthed.
So you like the off-screen Baby Herman, not the on-screen Baby Herman.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what? They both work so well.
Right, but I just love that dirty, foul-mouthed 50-year-old baby.
Just horrible.
He's terrible. I love it.
So good.
Yeah, honestly, if they were to remake that movie, they would probably make it NC-17 with just how he talks.
I don't think they could remake it.
I don't want them to remake it.
No, because everything in it is just
offensive.
It's perfect. And you can't have Eddie Valiant without Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
And Kathleen Turner is the voice of Jessica Rabbit.
She's not dirty. She's just drawn that way.
Yep. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. There's so many one-liners that we all say from that movie too.
And honestly, and it's been so many years, we don't even realize we're saying it anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that is on Disney Plus. If you guys are bored during your quarantine, I want to put that down as my suggestion. You should definitely watch that. Out of all the movies we talked about today, check that one out. Especially if you haven't seen it.
We should do a movie night with it when we're allowed to actually be in the same room together.
Totally. Blythe, what's your number one, sir?
My number one is a huge one of my childhood, and that was the Rugrats.
Rugrats.
Again, came off my list for you.
I can't believe I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, such a good show.
Should we talk about conspiracies with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If Jason was here, man, I wish Jason was here right now. Pop in, Jason.
There are some horrible.
Oh man, it's bad.
Do I even want to know?
So the fan theory is that the Rugrats, none of them really existed.
Except for
They're
Tommy.
all.
I think you told me this.
No,
and
Tommy
I hated
didn't
it.
exist. It's Angelica. They're all
Angelica's
in
the only one.
Angelica's head.
Because she's like in a coma or something?
No
Did
coma.
you tell me this?
Just
That's her
how she
imaginary
deals. It's just how
Being alone.
she deals with all the different grown-ups around her. So Tommy was a stillborn birth, and that's why Stu is always making toys to make toys for the kid that he'll never have. Phil and Lil's mother was lesbian, and that's why Phil and Lil are twins. There's the boy aspect of it and the girl aspect of it.
I heard that was an abortion. Was that one?
Oh, really?
We got really dark, and I don't like it.
And then Chucky.
Chucky died with his mother.
Yep, Chucky died
wreck.
with his mother in a fire, and that's why the dad is scared of everything, and that's why Chucky is scared of everything.
Okay,
Is
so
there
let's
one
kill
more?
this one. Let's talk happy.
Terrible.
Let's
No,
talk
it's good.
happy.
It's
Let's
good.
talk
No,
happy.
that's
that
what it
this
is.
show, honestly, you take all that crap out, and that show puts a smile on your face. It just feels. You don't remember being a baby, but you know this is what you felt like as a baby.
But this is how it went down.
This is I'm saying,
I was probably Chucky.
It's not that you were the characters. It's just there's something in like your psyche that knows this is how I thought when I was when I was a baby.
Yeah.
You know, as odd as that sounds, I think there's something very almost primal about it because it is something that we all went through, and everybody relates to Rugrats, but none of us remember that time, if that makes sense. And I don't think they didn't really give adult characteristics to these kids. It just feels like this is what they should be doing.
This feels like what babies and little kids, how they see things in there, like how an imagination of like an infant child would be.
Yeah,
like
and
they're straight up going on adventures, but really they just broke out of the playpen.
Yeah.
And are seeing the everyday stuff.
Yeah, and it's not from the outside in. It's not the adults watching the kids. It is from the kid's point of view.
Yeah.
Watching out. And that is a perfect point of view of the kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to go with perfect representation of what I would say a point of view of a baby would be.
And it was back in the day where they could like get away with stuff, like how the grandfather was kind of a degenerate, like he would rent.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. So that's always fun. I think that was fun for if you turned it on for kids to watch, the parents could have like a little chuckle about what's going on.
Well, a lot of those old Nickelodeon shows did that. They had if you knew what was going on, I'm like, oh, that's really bad. But if you have an innocent mind, you never even.
Right, it's on that 2-level thing that we talk about sometimes, where it's like, here's the stuff for the kids. Let's put this back here for the adults,
which is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because that's how you reach both sets of demographic.
Yeah, and
that's why, everybody.
Because that's why it's a kid can watch this stuff and not be, and we'll still like it as adults.
Yeah,
you know, I don't think that we can do that anymore as a society, unfortunately. And I'm not being political, I promise. But you know, there's something that's I think the next generation is definitely going to miss out about having that 2-level.
That subversive part of it.
You know, which I think is really important. Yeah. Okay, and that's a show, kids. Thank you, Pixie, for being on.
Yay, Pixie!
Check out listen to the end of this show, and we'll give you all our information on where to find us and all our links and stuff. And look at go to Redbubble, do the thing on Amazon. Doesn't cost you a dime, kids. It helps.
Comment down below. Commenting, the liking, the subscribing, all that.
That helps. With the quarantine, we're getting everything's pretty steady. Nothing's moving up. So let's try to bring some more people on, guys. Yeah, we enjoy the heck.
If you like us,
out of doing the show.
And just remember, if you like us, tell your friends about us.
Yes.
Yeah. Lots of new people in the Facebook group lately. So you guys, new people here, spread it around.
Yeah.
You know how much fun it is.
It is. And I would promise that next week we will have listener feedback, so we'll get some of your names back on the show.
Yay, listener feedback.
I miss hearing from all of you. And until next time, I'm Dub.
I'm Blyze.
I'm Miss Geeky Paige.
Keep on geeking on because
keep on geeking on.
It doesn't
we can't
work
time
the
it
other
together.
Way. Yeah,
no, we're not good at that.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.